A few weeks back, I promised a video to talk about outcome mapping. I discovered it in 2007 as an evaluation methodology, but I think it goes beyond that. Some 20 years ago, the International Development Research Centre in Canada designed a framework to ensure developmental social change results fell within the sphere of influence of projects. At the time, the methodology brought us what I call 3 ahas. It put people and learning first. It also accepted that unexpected change was in fact source of innovation. And it shifted the focus from macro-level change, which was super ambitious and super hard to measure by the projects or programs that sought them, to changes in behaviors, relationships, actions, and activities. It focused on contributions to outcomes when most funders at the time looked for attribution of impact. Don't get me wrong, project outcomes may well lead to larger development impact, but the relationship is rarely direct or one of cause and effect. So it offered us a new perspective, a new lens, and that's why I think it's still relevant 2 decades on. By inviting us to be more specific about the actors that the project targets, the expected changes, and the strategies employed to achieve them, we started to become more real about what our projects had influence over. They showed how the more we moved up the result change, the less influence we have, as it should be, because as you move up from inputs to outcomes, you want community ownership to increase and your contribution to decrease. Well, outcome mapping comes in where the two intersect. That's why it's so important to design for that passing of the baton. Outcome mapping methodology is very well documented. I've put some links in the description, but I wanted to focus here on the first stage called intentional design, because it really helps the project design team clarify and reach consensus on the higher level changes it wants to support and to plan appropriate strategies to reach them. There are 4 questions from outcome mapping any project team should answer. Question 1, what is the vision to which the program wants to contribute? Which basically is the why of the intervention. 2, how will the program contribute to the change process? Think about the project's goals, strategy, your organization's value add in terms of approach, tools, and practices. 3, who are the project boundary partners? An essential step to understand the people and institutions that the project cannot control, but that it needs to bring about social change. It's like stakeholder map meets social network analysis. And then the final question is, what are the changes you seek to help you identify the incremental changes through progress markers that the project or program sensibly hopes to influence? If you were to keep in mind just 2 concepts from outcome mapping, they'd be contribution and sphere of influence. Because the limits of your project's contribution depend on the breadth, the inclusion, the trust you build, and therefore the strength of your sphere of influence. Hope this was helpful. Would love to read your thoughts in the comments, and if you've used outcome mapping, let us know how it's served your project and its limitations.